everybody, how are you? I came back to my YouTube channel. I am so happy to be back again to my YouTube channel, to this new video that I'm going to make. This is a blog, a video blog that I'm going to make about an interesting topic that I love so much for you to know it, because when I was preparing this blog, I was like very anxious to tell you guys these things that I used to use when I was little, because the topic of this blog is very funny, because it's the curious fact about things using on 90s, or in other words, the curious fact that people that born on 90 used to use. Yes. Like I said, I am a 19 person because I born in 1993, and that was, I consider, a person that is about of the 90s. I am so old, I know, but through whole my life, I used to use a lot of things, and I used to see how technology each day is like advancing so much. And this image that I'm going to show you guys are going to show you guys how I live when I was beginning my years of life in the 90s, then when we began the 20th century. And well, guys, I hope you loved this video, and I'm so excited to show you each one of the images and explain you a little bit about each one of these images. And well, I hope you love it. Well, guys, I'm going to explain to you the first image that I'm going to show you. This image is very interesting, and at the same time it's very funny. When I see for the first time this image, I laugh so much because it's very true, and it's something that I used to do it. And I think that sometimes still now, this 2020, I used to do it sometimes, not always, sometimes. But when I was a kid, I always used it. I always do it. But in these years, I do it, but a little time, because it's very funny. It's something that, how many of you do you do this thing when you were little? Well, how many of you guys did this in the bathroom? I think that is very common, because if you don't have a smartphone, and if you don't have the smartphone, and if you are in the bathroom for so long, and we don't know why, we are going to be private with that topic, but if you are in the bathroom and you are feeling very boring, you began to see what do you care do in the bathroom. Like, for example, reading the background of the shampoo, reading the background of the conditioner, reading in the background of the toothbrush, toothpaste, all of that things, all of that product that we use in the bathroom. You always like take it and read it, what it's what is in the background of the product. I always like I always like doing that when I was little, and because I don't have a smartphone. Well, in the 90s, no one have a smartphone. I think that begins on 2006 or 2005, like in that years began to appear the first smartphones. And that's why if you are if you are like me and you do this thing in the bathroom, please comment below and please give up, because it's a common thing that we used to do it in the bathroom. And I'm going to take my hand upstairs because I am a person that do it. That's true. I'm do that. I raise my hand like a person that I used to do that, and that's true, guys. I used to read product of the bathroom because I was very boring in the bathroom and I don't have any smartphone. That's true. Yes. Well, guys, the second image that I'm going to show you guys is this image about this game. I don't know how many of you remember these games, but I remember so much because I used to play it. This Solitaire in the Mac. I think I don't know if the Apple computers appears this game, because I never in my life have an Apple. I always have Microsoft, and I always, since I was little, since my parents bought us and to my brothers and my sisters and me a computer, we always have Microsoft, and that's why I don't know if in Apple have these games. If you when you were little have an Apple and you see this game, please comment below, because I don't know if in the Apple also appears. But in the Microsoft computer they appear this game that is Solitaire. Which one did you choose? About the background of the cars. I loved it so much, the game. When I was little, I always used the computer only for playing this type of game, because it was very entertaining. And I remember that I always used the cars that have the background of the beach. Why? Because I love the beach. I so in love with the beach. My dream come true is to live in the beach, and I hopefully it's going to be in my bucket list to live in the future in the beach. That's why when I play this game, I always choose the cars with the background, with the beach life, with the palm tree and the sea, because I love it so much. And I used to play it so many times when I was little, this game. I really enjoyed this game so much. I don't know if you guys always play this game, but if you play it, you are going to know what I'm talking about. Well, guys, the third image that I'm going to show you is this one. This image have an interesting title. The title that this image have is "The I Grew Up with No Internet Starter Pack." Why? Because when we started using computer in the 90s, the internet was not like it was not like we were used to have right now. Because right now the internet is more faster, the internet is more advancing. But when we began to use computer in the 90s, the internet was not like this time. The internet was very different. It was very slow, and that's why when we use the computer, we only use computer only for writing a document on Word, or playing different games that we call it the starter pack. Why the starter pack? Because it was very interesting and have a lot of enjoyed time for us when we were little. I don't know if you guys are like me, and I don't know if you guys are going to remember these 4 games. The first one, it was Solitaire, and all the type of Solitaire that Microsoft show us. I remember that they were Solitaire, They were Spider. Spider was my favorite. I love to play Spider. I don't know if you play it, guys, but if you play it, please comment below because I want to hear about you guys about what do you think about that game, Solitaire and Spider. It was very interesting. It was very enjoyable time, and it's like for passing time. For passing time, I played this game. Also, Spaceball. Spaceball was my favorite game at all in the computer. When I always use the computer, I always play Spaceball. It was very easy to play it because you only need the space of the you only need some of the things of the computer, and it was very interesting. I love to play Spaceball. It was very incredible to have the ball to be upstairs and have a lot of points and be in the highest score of the Spaceball was very interesting. Also, doing Paint. Paint is an old program that Microsoft have since I think more than 19. I think when they began to appear the first computer they have Paint, but this Paint is not like the Paint that we used to have right now in 2020. It was very different, but it was very incredible. It's the first program that we used to have to edit image, to make image, and it was very interesting. Then we also have the pack that is the Minesweeper. It was a very incredible game. I'm not going to lie, it was very incredible. It was very difficult. Well, for me, it was very difficult. I don't know if you guys, but if you think that Minesweeper it was very easy, please comment below because I want to hear you guys how you play it because for me it was very difficult. War Guide. The 4 images is the same game that I was talking in the 3rd image about Minesweeper. Because today kids will never know how to play Minesweeper. That's true. The kids of this era are never going to know how to play this game Minesweeper. Because neither did we. Well, in my own opinion, I was very difficult to play Minesweeper. I always remember that my brothers and my sister and my friends in school they always told me like a trick to play Minesweeper and to always win. But I never in my life understand that trick, and that's why I always lose it. I only win Minesweeper when it was in the easy level, and then when I was in the medium level, sometimes I win it, and the whole time I lose it. And then in the difficult level of Minesweeper, I always lose it because I don't know how to play it. And like I said it before, please guys, if you guys are used to play this game Minesweeper and you always win it, please comment below and tell me what was the secret for winning this game, because kids of this age doesn't even going to know how to play this game. If I don't understand and I'm always losing this game, the kids of this era are going and neither they're going to win this game because it was very difficult, but at the same time it was very incredible to play Minesweeper. It was very like a top play, but it was very incredible. I love to play that. It's something that when I see the image I remember so many good times of my childhood because it was very interesting. It was very amazing, this game, and I love it so much. But I never win the difficult level. neither the medium. I always win the easy one, but the easy one is very easy. It was very little, and when you pass to the difficult level, it was very big, and that's why it was more difficult. And more guys, comment if you win this level, and please explain to me. I'm going to beg you guys to explain to me in the commentary how to win the Minesweeper if you play it, because I never win that. That's true, guys. Well, guys, the fun image that I'm going to show you guys is an image that today kids will never know the choices you had to make, the choices that we have to make when we do a homework in Word. That's true. Like I said before, in the past years, we only use computer for homework or for playing games in the computer, because the internet was very different like we have today. Today the internet, we use it for everything, for searching a lot of things in Google. And that's true, guys. Today, for us, Google is like Sun Google, because we only write something in the search of the Google, and Google show us all the results. But at the beginning of the computer era, the internet was very different like we have today. And that's why the computer was only used for homework on different programs like Word, like PowerPoint, like Excel, and I don't know if there were other programs, but if there were other programs, please remind me in the comments below, because I forgot it. But I always, when I was little, I always used Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. And I remember that in that times when I was little and I do my homework in Word, I always use a little funny things that kids of this day are not going to know it, how was to use these things. That is the different topic that were the Word and PowerPoint, because always also in PowerPoint you could use the type of title, and it was very interesting and funny to use it in a homework, like when the teachers in the schools tell you guys that you have to make a PowerPoint, you have to make a document in Word, and that is the homework. You always use the title, a different title, like it's showing the image, and the title of blue like curved letters, the title that are like a rainbow letter, and it was very incredible to use this type of titles in Word and PowerPoint. It was very interesting, and it's something that kids today are never going to know what was the enjoy it and the amazing thing of using this title. It was very incredible, guys. It was very funny. I used to love it, this title. It's very, but at the same time, when I think, it was very like ridiculous to make a homework with that type of title. But that was the age of, that was the era of that time to use that type of title, and it was very incredible. Yeah. Well, guys, the sixth image. Sorry, freak out because I say object. The sixth image that I'm going to show you is this one. Kids these days will never know the struggle of these four different images. Why? Because if we talk about the first image of this image, if we talk about of the first image of this one, we are going to see the Walkman. What was the Walkman? The kids of this day are not going to know what was the Walkman. The Walkman was what the I don't know how to say it, but it was a thing that we used to hear music. We put inside of the Walkman the CD, because it was like a mini CD player. First we have the boombox. Then for hearing music, not only in our house and hearing music in the street, hearing music in a trip, we used to have a Walkman, and we only put the CD in the inside of the Walkman, and we put our earphones, and that's all. And kids of this day are not going to know how to use the Walkman, because I remember that the Walkman was the first object that they used to do it for playing music outside of the house. Then was the iPods, and then of the iPods, the cell phones, the smartphones, that you could play any music in your smartphone anytime that you want, but that very easy to do it. But the Walkman, it was very interesting. I used to have one Walkman that was of my sister, and my sister gave it to me, and it was very interesting. The second object is that was very terrible issues for me, because when I was always using the computer, and the computer was very slow, it was very stressful that they appear that type of square, and when you put enter so many times, they used to have a long square, because the computer was slow, and it was ruining the computer. It was very awful that type of thing in the computer. The third object, it was the thing that we used to do it to make the window of the car be back, to back. In the 90s, the way we used to open the window in the car is not like that. Like right now, that we only push a button. No, we have to, with that with that stick, we have to do it like this and this and this for make the windows open. And the third object is how we used to wait for a program installed in the computer. That's true, guys. It was very long. It was very stressful, because it's like when you start something in your computer, it was 2 or 3 hours of waiting to the program install, and you have to see that for image in your computer. That's true. Well, guys, the 7 objects is this object about the eraser. This type of eraser was very I don't understand that eraser, because it was in one side was blue and the other side was red, but they always said that the blue part is for erased pen, the red part it was for erased pencil, and that's true. The red part always erase pencil, but I never in my life say that the blue part erase a pen. That's never true, and I think that is something that is not true. And if you guys disagree with me with this opinion, please comment below, because that means that you guys could erase a pen with the blue part of this eraser. I never see that, because it was awful to erase a pen with the blue part of this eraser. in my school we always erase the pen with liquid paper, but this blue eraser, never for me, never used for that, because it was awful to erase the pen with that blue part of the eraser. It was very awful, the subject. Yes, guys, then the image I'm going to show you is this little object that was a toy. It was very like rare toy, but I think that this toy, it was only in Latin America. In my country, in El Salvador, we called this toy triquitaca, but when I see the image say taca taca. I don't know why in other country they say taca taca, but in my country, in El Salvador, we say this toy triquitraca, and it was very awful, this toy, because if you play this toy, you always going to be hurt, because it was big balls that were very heavy, and you only have to like give in circle, but sometimes you could hurt yourself or hurt anybody else, and it was very awful, this toy. That's true, but it was a toy of the 90s. Yes. Well, guys, the 9th object I'm going to show you is this one. How many people used to be in a car? I do it not for a party, but in the school. I remember that with my companions on school, we always made that when we were going to a club, and it was very funny because it was like 20 people inside the car. I remember that because I was very little and I was very not thin, but a little thin. I always be like have to be like in another companions, and it was very incredible, like using the car for that type of thing. The carpool full of person, like 20% in one car, that is very little. I used to do it with my friends, and I don't know, guys, if you used to do it, and if you used to do it, please comment below, because it was very funny. It was very adventurous to see 20 people in a car, in a tiny car. It was very incredible. I going to raise my hand because I do that. That's true, guys. The 10th image that I'm going to show you guys is this image about a shirt, a blouse with a lot of ink, because I remember that I used to do that in elementary school. I don't know why. It was very like strange why all my companions and I will always, like, when we were finished the school year, we always sign our t-shirts, because we thought that we're not going to see anymore, and in the next year we always see it, and it was very strange, but we always do that type of thing of like in our shirt we put our like message that each one of our friends have want to make us in our shirt, and I used to do it, and I'm going to raise my hand because I do that type of things. And if you do it also, please comment below, because it was very like funny to do it, but at the same time it was very ridiculous, because at the other years you always going to see your friends again, and it was very funny to do this type of thing. Yes. Well, guys, the 11th image is going to be this one. When you do an exam and you don't know anything about the exam, and you begin to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 10 option is going to be the correct one. I use a little times, not everything, not every time, but I never used this type of method in the exam because I was very sincere with my answer. I'm going to say to you guys, I was very sincere. I was a very good student in school, but sometimes I used to do that. I used to play the 1 to 3 of 10, 1 to 10, to see who is going to be the correct answer. And if the option was the 10 option, that is what the correct option for me. And I don't know how many of you guys did use that type of method. Please comment below, because it was a method that we used to do it in the old times. Yes, I don't know that time of this year, kids still do this, but that very funny. The 12th image that I'm going to show you is this one. How many of you guys you used to draw a clock in your hand? I'm going to say that I am one of that person. Yes, guys. I'm going to raise my hand because in a time of my years, I always like when I am in my home. I never do it in the school because that was very lame. But in my home, in my house, I always draw a clock in my hand because I love to think that I have a very interesting clock in my hand. I always see the clock and I imagine what time it was. It was very it was very ridiculous, but I do that. And if you do, and you also do that, please comment below because it was very funny to make it. That's true, guys. Well, guys, the 13th image is this one. How many girls that are going to see this video are going to relate it with this image? I am one of that because I remember to use that type of socks. It was very beautiful. It was very beautiful, that socks that you used to use it with that type of shoes, black shoes, and it was very funny because it was very girly. You always use it with beautiful dress or beautiful skirts and beautiful blouse, and I used to use that type of socks, and I used to use it when I was in school with the uniform. I don't know if the girls that are going to see this video use it also, or if you have a friend that use this type of socks, please in the comments below tell me, because it was very incredible socks. It was very incredible. The 14th image that I'm going to show you guys is this one. Yes. How many of you guys, when you use this toy of fake teeth about Dracula, when you use it, you think that you were Dracula? I was one of them. Yes. I love when that type of toy, it was always appear in the piñatas. I don't know if you know what is piñata. When in Latin America, that what we call when we have a birthday party of our friends, we call it piñata. And in the piñata, they always have to us little toys, like surprise toys, and they always have this type of toy that it was the teeth of Dracula, and it was very funny to use it because when you use that teeth of Dracula with that with that type of teeth, you always think that you are Dracula. And I am one of that person that think that I was Dracula when I used that type of teeth. That was true, guys. I don't know if you always also think that when you use that type of teeth, you think that you are Dracula. Yes, it was very lame, but it was true, guys. This story was very true. The 50 image is a true image. Then in the past years, when you were in a school and the teacher said, guys, I'm going to raise the board because I'm going to continue the class, and you're not finished writing the notes that the teacher made in the board, and you were like writing so fast for finish writing the things of the board, finish writing the thing on the board before the teacher erased the board. But right now, in this age, kids of this day, they don't need to do that. They always show their cell phone, take a picture, and that's all. But in my time in school, I used to like write so fast because if I don't write so fast, the teacher always like erase the board, and that was very awful. That's true, guys. The next image is this one, the calculator. How many of you guys, because in the past year we don't have smartphones, we don't have iPad, tablets, or whatever other things, we only have calculator like technology, and we always used to write things in calculator. Calculator is only for doing math things, but sometimes you could write things like el bebé. That's true, guys. You could write it that, but for writing that you have to put the calculator like upside down for doing it. That was really lame, guys, but that's true. We were used, people of the 90s, we were used to do it, and I am one of that used to do it that. Yes, guys. The next image is this one. This image is because in the past year we don't have Google. The internet was very slow. The homework we have to do it with books. We have to go to the library, search for a book, read the book, and search for the topic that you want to read it, and that is how we used to do our homework. The computer, we only do it for writing in the document of the Word, and we printed and was only that. But that was our type of doing homework with books. And kids of this day are never going to know it. How was to search a topic in a book that you search in the library, because right now we have Google, and that's true, guys. And the last image is a very incredible image. It's very like sentimental image that we need to know that is true, and we need to know that we are privileged if we have a photo of our whole family like that. I have the privilege to have photos like that, photos that show all my family in one photo, and that's what we're privileged to have. Right now in this era, it's very difficult to have these type of photos because there are not family very integrate like in the past years, because right now the family are very different than we used to have it. In the past year we have grandparents, uncles, all the families together reunited in a table, and we take a picture. And now we don't use this type of thing. We don't used to see this type of thing because the family are not still like reunited like we used to do it in the past year, and that's very sad. And I hope that people in this year realize that they need to make more family time because family is the most important thing in our life, and that's only. And I hope with this image, guys, you could pass more time with your family because it's very important. And well, guys, with this image that I show you guys, I talk about the curious fact of Born in the 90s. I hope you love it. I hope you love this video. If you love this video, please give thumbs up to this video. Also, if you relate with one of these images, please comment below, like I said in the whole video. Also, if you still don't subscribe to my channel, I invite you guys to subscribe to my channel and touch the bell for more notification. And only that, guys. And thanks for supporting me. Thanks for watching my videos and still still supporting me because I'm going to still doing more videos. And thank you, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support that you gave me, for the love that you gave me, and for thank you, guys. Always remember to do things with a smile on your face. It's very important, and that is my motto, and that is going to be my motto for these videos. And I'm always going to say it, to be happy, because it's very it's very like important to be very happy and to make things with a happy face, because like that we demonstrate a lot of people that we need to be happy. It is we know that sometimes there are bad times that make us very sad, that make us angry, but we don't have to like be angry for the old people. We have to be happy, guys, and I invite you all of you guys to be happy and always do things with a smile on your face, because it's very like a pleasant to do things with a happy in your face and with a smile on your face, guys. Please uh, do it like that. And thank you guys for watching this video. I love you guys. Bye bye.